welcome to my channel, Fake It Till You Bake It, a channel that explores the journey of a young girl trying to become a professional baker by faking her way to that end goal. Today is a lazy Sunday, so I thought this is the perfect time to try making cinnamon rolls. I have been wanting to make cinnamon rolls for weeks, months, like a very long time, but I just never gotten around to it. So I figure, since I'm on a baking journey, this is the perfect opportunity to make some cinnamon rolls, you know? I am going to be using a recipe by Preppy Kitchen. I don't know his name, but I actually like a few of his recipes, so that's the one I'll be using today. I have measured out all of my ingredients, as you can see, and yeah, you know, I'm ready to get started. You can't see it, but I will be referring to his recipe on his website as I go forward. But yeah, I'm ready to get started and give it a go. And I hope you enjoy this journey with me. I think let's get started, shall we? So, first things first, I've got my mixing bowl. I'm going to add, I believe it's 420 grams of flour, all purpose. Then I will add in my salt and spices. So I have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. He did say a pinch, but I like the nutmeg, and I guess a quarter teaspoon is technically a pinch. Who knows? Anyway, we'll throw it in there and see what happens. Then he also says to add your sugars. So I have 50 grams of plain white sugar. I have 50 grams of light brown sugar, and that is also going to get added to the mixing bowl. Now I also need to add some instant yeast. It says 1 sachet, but well, he's American and I'm English, and I don't know if 11 grams is the normal amount for 1 sachet, but he does luckily have a measurement, which is 2 teaspoons, well, 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. So just to be safe, I'm going to measure it out. I don't know if maybe I'm being a bit too safe, but that's what's going to happen today. Okay, using a clean whisk, I'm just going to whisk these ingredients together, just combine them gently. Oh, before I forget, I've also put my oven on, or maybe I haven't, oh no I have. I've put my oven to preheat to about 100 degrees, or maybe like 100 degrees. So hopefully that'll be ready in time, because he said that you should do that to help proof your dough. So that is what I am doing. I have a clean bowl that I'm going to add our wet ingredients to. So I have 120 grams of sour cream. I'm adding my butter, which is about room temperature. It's squeezable. This is 85 grams of butter, 120 mils of milk. I use lactose-free milk because I'm lactose intolerant. Doesn't change anything, so lactose intolerant do the same. I'm also gluten intolerant, but I do like to treat myself sometimes. So I will eat glutinous things because nothing beats something glutinous. However, I will be attempting to make these cinnamon rolls again, but with gluten-free ingredients, because it's better for my tummy, and I don't really feel like my stomach deserves to suffer just because I can't help myself. But it's fine. Then we have a tablespoon of vanilla. Always try to buy good quality vanilla. I mean, it's expensive. It's always expensive. But it's really worth it. I microwaved my wet ingredients for about 1:20 for my microwave. He does say in his instructions to do it until it's hot to touch. So hopefully that is fine. That's all mixed in. Looks kind of gross, but smells delicious. Smells like a vanilla latte. Who knew? Sour cream, butter, vanilla equals latte. So now that that's melted in and stirred into each other, he now instructs that I attach a dough hook to my mixer. Now I have a weird little mixer and I have 2 dough hooks. I have never seen anyone use 2 dough hooks or dough hooks that look like this. Or perhaps I have, but they're normally just one big one. So I'm kind of a little apprehensive about using this. I've actually never used it before. But we'll give it a go anyway. I mean, what's the worst that could happen except for failure, you know? To the mixer and pour the wet mixture into the dry, then run on low. Drop in the egg, and mix until the dough comes together and it's tacky but doesn't stick to your fingers. Okay. Here we go. Look on. And my wet into my dry. Now this isn't stirring very well, so I'm just gonna help it out. Don't know if this is supposed to happen, but it seems to be finding it a little tough to deal with this dough. He also says to add 1 large egg in. Do this. Lucky. Starting to come together a bit. Took me a very long time actually to finally get the dough to where it needs to be. It's tacky but not actually sticking to your hands. Well, it does say it's in a rich dough. I'm hoping I didn't over mix it, but again, it's my first time making them. If they're not perfect, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I will be very upset because I get upset when my baking doesn't go well, but again, c'est la vie, it doesn't really matter. It's all for practice, and I mean, if it doesn't go well, then I could just not post this. Although, I think that that would be unfair to myself and to the viewer, you know? I should also show my mistakes, and then I can always do a redo. See if I can finally get it down pat, you know? So, the dough is still sticky, like tacky, but more solid, more come together, which is good, just like you said. So, you better not prove me wrong, Preppy Kitchen. Don't want to get upset with you when you've always been helping me. So, let's get all of this out and plop it down. So, he also said that this is quite a hungry dough, so give it flour where and if needed. Needed. Ooh, it feels good. So, and to do this for about 5 minutes. So it's meant to look like once it's been kneaded fully, but hopefully it will be exactly as Preppy Kitchen intended. Okay, now it's been 5 minutes, so as long as his recipe is correct and I've, massaged the dough correctly, this should be perfect. Just make sure there's no flour left. I always see them in the videos, scoop the dough like this. So let's oil this. Got my hands just to oil it up. Oil. Okay. Put that in there. It's adorable. So cover and put in a warm place to rise. I believe this has to go in for like 2 hours till it's doubled in size. And yeah, now I'm gonna leave that to rise, I believe for 2 hours. If I'm wrong, I'll correct you when I get back, and tidy up. So yeah, see you in a bit. Look at it, it's beautiful. It's risen so lovely. I don't know if this is the right consistency, but it's fine either way. So let's just pour this out onto our well-floured surface. I also prepared cinnamon sugar as well while I was waiting for this. So I'll take this out. Now time to roll it out into a nice big rectangle with a 1/4 inch thick. Now to liberally apply butter all over the surface. And our cinnamon sugar. Okay, so now it's voiceover time because my friends are playing Smash Bros in the background. As you can see, here I'm just cutting off the rough edges of the dough so that I can roll it into an even, roll. Once I rolled up the dough, using a sharp knife because I didn't have any dental floss as suggested, I cut off the rough ends. I then cut the roll into 9 evenish pieces, which didn't really go to plan because I had to, as you will see, layer 2 small bits of dough together to make my final roll. There we have our cinnamon roll. Now to place our cinnamon rolls into a tray. One less than I should have. So maybe I'll try to roll one. Don't worry if that happens to you, because as you'll see at the end, it might look a little bit weird, but it rises, it becomes a roll, just like everything else. It's fine. You'll have cinnamon buns at the end. Oh. This is what they look like risen for second proofing. Now I'm going to preheat the oven to 180 and bake them for 28 to 30 minutes. If they start to brown too much at the top, then I will have to cover them with foil and continue for the rest of the baking time. During that, I'm going to make a glaze to go on top, and yeah, then they'll be done. So for the icing on top, I added some cream cheese, butter, vanilla, lemon juice and milk into a bowl. Now I'm just going to whisk everything together before adding the icing sugar. Also Also, if you couldn't tell, I accidentally used coffee essence instead of my vanilla because apparently I don't know how to read. Here's our product. This one is the messed up one. This one I just cut the edge off. It's a bit brown, but I think this is right. I had to microwave mine for a minute, well, for 20 seconds, just to make sure that the cream cheese combined, because I didn't leave it to get to room temperature. So I drizzle about half of it. And there you have it. Super moist, fluffy cinnamon rolls. Thanks for watching.